Okay, stop what you're doing and try to tickle the roof of your mouth with your tongue. Or maybe the arch of your foot. Go ahead, I'll wait. Nothing, right? Not even a tiny wiggle. But if I, or a friend, walked up and did the exact same thing, you'd be doubling over, gasping for air, and probably accidentally kicking a lamp over. Why? It is the exact same nerve ending, the same physical pressure, and the same biological itch. So why is your brain totally ghosting your own fingers? This is what I call the predictive glitch. Your brain is essentially a world-class psychic, and it's constantly living about 80 milliseconds in the future. It's not just that you know the tickle is coming, it's that your brain has already lived through it before your finger even touches skin. Today we're diving into the cerebellum, the high-speed processor at the back of your skull, to find out why your brain treats your own touch like spam mail, while treating everyone else's like a 5-alarm fire. We're peeling back the layers of your internal sensory cancellation system to reveal the biological security guard that keeps you from losing your mind every time you put on a pair of socks. Get ready, because your brain is doing a lot more behind your back than you realize. Starting our countdown at number 8, meet the cerebellum. This little mini-brain sits at the back of your head and handles the heavy lifting of coordination. But it has a secret side hustle as an effort filter. Every single time you move a muscle, whether you're reaching for a slice of pizza or trying to tickle your ribs, your motor cortex sends a command to your arm, but it also sends a CC email to the cerebellum. This is called an efference copy. It's basically a heads up that says, hey, I'm about to move my left index finger to my right armpit. Because the cerebellum receives this memo, it knows exactly what the resulting sensation is going to feel like before it even happens. It calculates the pressure, the speed, and the timing. By the time your finger makes contact, the cerebellum has already sent a signal to your sensory cortex saying, ignore this, we did this on purpose. It's a masterclass in efficiency, but it's also the reason you'll never win a tickle fight against yourself. It's like trying to surprise yourself with a birthday party you planned, catered, and decorated. The surprise element, which is the fuel for a tickle response, is deleted before it even arrives at your conscious mind. Without that surprise, your nerves just report boring physical contact, and you feel, well, nothing. Coming in at number 7, the sensory attenuation wall. This is the fancy term for why the world stays stable when you move. Think about it. If your brain didn't have this self-cancellation feature, every time you blinked, you'd think the sun went out. Every time you walked, you'd feel the jarring impact of your feet as an external attack. The sensory attenuation system is what allows you to distinguish me from the world. In the context of tickling, your brain is performing a high-speed subtraction. It takes the total sensory input, the feel, and subtracts the predicted input, the expectation. If the result is 0, you feel nothing significant. But when someone else tickles you, your cerebellum has no efference copy. It has no memo. The result of the math isn't 0. It's a massive, unpredictable positive number. This triggers a prediction error in the brain. Your brain essentially panics for a split second because it can't anticipate the next move. This is why tickling feels so frantic. It's your brain's way of saying, I don't know what this is or where it's going, so I'm going to freak out until it stops. It's a protective glitch that turns a simple touch into a chaotic sensory explosion just because your brain couldn't pre-calculate the math. At number 6, we have to talk about the panic laughter paradox. Have you ever noticed that being tickled isn't actually fun? Like you're laughing, but you're also screaming stop and trying to crawl away. That's because tickling activates the Rolandic operculum, the area of the brain that controls facial expressions and vocal reactions, but it also triggers the hypothalamus, which governs your fight or flight response. The laughter isn't a sign of joy, it's an involuntary evolutionary signal of submission. Evolutionarily, tickling usually happens in safe play between primates. The laughter tells the attacker, okay, you win, I'm not a threat. Please stop poking my soft bits. But because you can't surprise your own hypothalamus, you can't trigger this vulnerable play state by yourself. You can't be the predator and the prey at the same time. When you try to tickle yourself, your brain sees the hand coming, knows it's your hand, and basically says, "Nice try, Willow, but we aren't in danger from ourselves." The hypothalamus stays chill, the Rolandic operculum stays quiet, and you just sit there looking silly while poking your own ribs. It's a biological safeguard to make sure we don't accidentally trigger our own panic responses during daily grooming or movement. Number 5 is where things get spooky. Scientists at University College London actually tried to hack this system using robots. They gave participants a joystick that controlled a robotic tickler. When the robot moved in perfect sync with the participant's hand, they felt nothing, just like self-tickling. The cerebellum was doing its job, predicting the movement and cancelling the sensation. However, when the scientists introduced a tiny delay, just a fraction of a second, between the person moving the joystick and the robot moving the feather, the tickle sensation came back. By lagging the response, they broke the brain's efference copy link. The cerebellum could no longer perfectly predict the timing of the touch, so it couldn't cancel it out. This proves that your anti-tickle shield is entirely dependent on perfect, real-time synchronization. If your brain experiences even a 200 millisecond lag in its own feedback loop, it starts treating its own body as a stranger. It's a haunting reminder that our sense of self is just a very well-timed hallucination maintained by our nerves. If the timing is off, the self disappears, and the stranger takes over. Number 4 is a bit more serious, but absolutely fascinating. There is actually one group of people who can tickle themselves, some individuals with schizophrenia. This is a massive clue for neuroscientists. In certain types of schizophrenia, the brain's ability to distinguish between self-generated and externally generated actions is dampened. The effort filter in the cerebellum we talked about earlier, it doesn't work quite right. When a person with this specific neural profile moves their arm, their brain fails to send or receive that efference copy memo correctly. So, when they touch their own skin, their brain is genuinely surprised by the sensation. It doesn't recognize the touch as mine. This is often why some patients experience passivity phenomena, where they feel like their own limbs are being moved by an outside force or that their thoughts are being broadcasted. Being able to tickle yourself isn't just a party trick. It's actually a sign that your brain's self-ownership software is running perfectly. If you can't tickle yourself, congratulations. Your cerebellum is an elite-level bouncer, keeping the self and the other strictly separated so you don't lose track of where you end and the world begins. Number 3. Why did we evolve this way? Why not just let us tickle ourselves? It seems like a fun way to pass the time, right? Well, think about the signal-to-noise ratio. Your body is constantly touching things. Your clothes are rubbing against your skin. Your hair is touching your forehead. Your tongue is hitting your teeth. If your brain reacted to every self-generated touch with the same intensity as an external touch, you would be in a constant state of sensory overload. Imagine trying to hunt a woolly mammoth or hide from a predator while your brain is screaming, "Oh my God, your shirt is touching your back." It would be a nightmare. We evolved this self-cancellation system as a filter. It allows us to ignore the noise of our own bodies so we can stay hyper-alert to the signal of the environment. A spider crawling on your neck needs to be felt immediately. Your own collar touching your neck? That needs to be ignored. The inability to tickle yourself is the price you pay for being able to focus on the world without going insane from the sensation of your own existence. It's an evolutionary trade-off. We trade a little bit of self-amusement for a massive boost in survival awareness. At number 2, we look at the social glue. Tickling isn't just a biological glitch, it's a communication tool. Because you can't do it to yourself, tickling requires another person. It is one of the most basic forms of social bonding. In the primate world, grooming and light mock attacks, like tickling, build trust. It's a way of saying, "I'm close enough to hurt you, but I'm choosing to play instead." If we could tickle ourselves, we wouldn't need that social interaction. We'd stay in our little corners, tickling our own ribs and laughing alone like weirdos. By making tickling an other-only experience, evolution forced us to interact, to bond, and to develop trust through physical play. It's a built-in incentive to seek out companionship. Even the most annoying tickle fest with your sibling is actually a deeply coded ritual that strengthens the tribe connection. Your brain literally locks you out of the tickle vault so that you have to go find a friend to hold the key. It's beautiful, in a weird, breath-stealing, please stop poking me kind of way. And finally, number 1, the 2 types of tickles. Did you know there are actually 2 different biological responses? The first is Knismesis. That's the light, itchy feeling you get when a feather or a bug crawls on you. Fun fact, you can actually do this to yourself. Try lightly dragging your fingernail across your palm. See? You feel that itchy tingle. That's because Knismesis is a primitive alert system that doesn't require the cerebellum's complex effort filter. The second type, the one we've been talking about, is Gargalesis. This is the heavy, laughter-inducing, I can't breathe tickle. This is the one that is strictly other-only. It involves deeper pressure and rhythmic movement that targets those specific vulnerable spots, like the armpits or the belly. Gargalesis is managed by the high-level predictive modeling of the cerebellum. So the reason you can't tickle yourself is specifically because your brain recognizes the difference between a surface itch and a deep interaction. You can alert yourself to a bug, but you can't play with yourself. It's a sophisticated dual-layer security system that ensures you stay safe from parasites while staying connected to your tribe. Your brain is a genius, even if it does make you look a bit crazy when you're poking your own feet in the name of science. So there you have it, Clover tribe. You can't tickle yourself because your brain is a literal time traveler that predicts your own touch to save you from sensory overload and panic. It's not a fail, it's a feature. It's the ultimate proof that your brain is working 24/7 to protect yourself from the noise of the world. Next time someone tries to tickle you, just remember, your cerebellum is currently throwing a party that you weren't invited to. If you learned something new today, hit that like button and let me know in the comments. Are you ticklish level impossible or ticklish level don't even look at me? I want to know who in the Clover tribe has the most sensitive cerebellum. Don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the weird architecture of your reality. I'm Willow, and until next time, if a stranger tries to tickle you, use your fight or flight for its intended purpose and run. And mind yourself. I'll see you in the next one.